Hello, friends. Have you got my new book yet? Tales to Chill Your Blood? It's a collection of short, strange, spooky, and scary stories. And for Halloween, I'm going to give you a treat. Because it's cold and it's raining where I live. And in order to promote this book, and in honor of Halloween, I'm going to read you a story. It's called You Are Dead. A lot of people wanted this story. They said they liked it, and they wanted me to share it with you guys. So, in order to spark your interest in this book, and to wish you a happy Halloween, here is You Are Dead, written in 2012 from my book of short stories, Tales to Cheer Your Blood, by Wes Caldwell, available on Amazon.com for $12. Here we go. You Are Dead. Have you ever gotten one of those crazy emails that has a link in it? If you click on it, you will supposedly be taken to some website that has a video of the scariest thing that you have ever seen in your life. When you do click on the link, it takes you to a video that tells you to be sure to stare at a certain spot on the screen because you simply won't believe what happens. If you don't stare at it, or you blink your eyes, you will miss it. Then, once you do watch the video, staring at the spot the whole time, some screaming face pops up 30 seconds in, scaring the utter crap out of you. If so, then you will understand the story I am about to tell you. Consider this a warning. If you ever get the email that my friends and I got, you won't be laughing afterwards. Everything started on a cold and rainy day. My roommate Ben and our friend Steve were sitting in our dorm room trying to decide what we were going to do that evening as far as entertainment was concerned. We couldn't play basketball or toss the football around outside because of the rain. That also meant we couldn't go hiking or camping on the nature trails around campus. Rain always ruined our weekend. Weekends were the only time we had to do anything other than study or practice running for cross country and track and field. We decided to surf the web and see what movies were playing. We could drive the 20 minutes to the next town, which actually had a theater. Our little college town only had one thing other than our college: a local grocery store. That is how small this town was. It was crazy, but this was our college. We loved it, as boring as it was at times. We found that the movie we had all wanted to see was already sold out. We decided to try and see if any other interesting movies were playing instead. All of them were either boring, sounded boring, or were what we like to call chick flicks. Without a chick to take to see it, you might as well just slit your wrist because you would die of boredom by the end of the movie anyway. Ultimately, we decided to get into the car and go to a bar that wasn't too far away. An ad on their website said that tonight only there was free live music and a pool tournament that was open to everyone. There were lots of prizes to offer anyone who was brave enough to enter. I decided to check my email and see if my girlfriend back home, as my friends called her, had written me. She wasn't really my girlfriend anymore. She chose to break off our relationship. Therefore, she broke up with me. I didn't have any emails other than the usual spam and a few offering coupons for places back home. Those places aren't anywhere near here, making them useless. There was this one email, though, and it caught me by surprise because it was from me. I didn't remember sending myself an email. I was about to throw it away when my roommate, Ben, asked me to open it, just to see what I had to say to myself. I laughed and said it was probably another link to one of those porn websites, which were illegal for us to go to on campus. If we got caught, we would be kicked out of school, or at least suspended. The fact that I was on a free ride scholarship in cross country and track, and averaging a 3.75, made me not want to take the chance that the link was to a porn site. The subject read, "People are dying every day and they don't even know it." Ben and Steve dared me to open the email, but I had my suspicions. They told me not to worry because as long as you just open this part of the email and don't click on the link, you won't get into trouble if it happens to be a link to a porn site or something containing a virus, which was just as bad. I knew this because that was my passion in life. Other than running, swimming, and singing, I loved computers. I had anything electronic ever made since I was 5 or so. I was watching my dad tinker with an old computer that was supposedly broken. Somehow he managed to bring it back to life. The people who owned it paid him greatly for the job. This was his job, fixing computers and computer-related problems. There was nothing my dad couldn't fix, as long as it wasn't a piece of machinery or had some form of software to it. Ever since that day, I have loved computers. I guess I picked up his skill because when people need help with computers, they come to me. Most of the time, I can help them. I say most of the time because I am not my dad. I am just his apprentice. Someone who admires him and wishes he could be as good as he is. I decided the email was worth a look. I mean, how bad could it be? I wish I would have known. I opened the email and at once was reminded of one of my favorite horror movies of all time, The Ring. This movie scared the crap out of Ben and Steve, but I thought it was very well done. Almost scary, but not really. Did I mention that I love horror movies? Since I was a young boy, horror movies have been my favorite. I watched Freddy Krueger slash up some teenagers in my all-time favorite horror movie, A Nightmare on Elm Street. Though, if you go back now and watch it, it is a bit cheesy. Still, it's a really good movie, and for its time, it still holds true and always will. Freddy is an icon to be reckoned with, and no one will ever contend with him. They recently went back and remade the movie. I hear they are working on another one that is going to be in eye-popping 3D. I assure you that Ben, Steve, and I will be there on opening night to see it. Anyway, back to the email and what it contained. I opened the email and lo and behold, if it didn't have one of those videos where all you could see in the preview was darkness, you have no idea what it is going to be. Underneath the video preview screen, it said, "Click on the link below to find out why people are dying every day and they don't even know it. You won't believe what you will see. It will scare you to death." This we had to see for ourselves. We figured it was going to be another one of those harmless, stupid videos with the person at the end screaming at you as they pop up in front of the camera. We love these videos because we always like to see who is going to jump first. One time, Steve was so scared by one with a rocking chair in it that he actually peed in his pants. To this day, we still haven't let him live that one down. It was hilarious. We clicked on the link to the video. At first, all you could see was black. Then it got a little grainy, and a woman's voice came through. She talked about people all around the world are dying every day, and they don't even know it. We looked at each other, and then looked back at the screen, staring in disbelief. The camera began to focus on the outside of a building. It was our dorm. Steve looked at me and Ben and asked what was going on. Then he asked if that hallway didn't look just like our dorms. We all answered yes at the same time. The next thing we knew, it looked like the camera was pointing at our door. Then we heard it, a knock at the door. Our door. And you could hear it in the video as well. We were looking at each other and shaking now. Coincidence or reality? That is what we wondered. Steve ran over to the closet. He grabbed Ben's baseball bat, walked to the door, and opened it. The video went black. Then you could see Steve poking his head out the door and hear him say that there was no one there. He said it must have just been a coincidence or some really good parlor trick. We asked him if he saw an envelope on the floor in front of the door. He said no. In the same instant he said that, he did. He reached out to pick it up. Bringing it inside, he locked the door, handing it over to me. I opened it. A thick card that looked like a wedding invitation or a thank you note was inside. It simply read in bright black dripping ink, "You are dead." The three of us looked at each other and then looked back at the computer monitor. As we did, each of us saw the last thing we would ever look at. We saw our throats being ripped out, blood gushing. We watched as we tried to reach up and stop the unseen assailant who was killing us. My hands frantically grasped the air again and again, trying to find my attacker. Then everything went black, and we were no more. I don't know how I'm able to email you this now. If you ever come across an email from yourself, you may want to think twice before opening it. Not because it may contain a virus or a link to a porn site, but because it may very well contain a link to the front row seat of your own execution. I guess the lady speaking in the video really was right. People are dying every day and they don't even know it. My friends and I were dying, and by the time we watched this simple 1-minute video, we were dead. We didn't even know it until we saw it happen on the screen, as it happened in reality. I guess it really is true. In a way, your whole life does flash before your eyes right before you die. It sure did for us, and it all took a few seconds. By the way, I hate to tell you this, but if you have read this email, then I apologize deeply. I have to tell you, you aren't going to like this very much. You are dead. The end. Okay, so there you go. That's one of the stories that was written in 2012. And there's a lot more in here, and they're all pretty cool. That seems to be, like, for some reason, people's favorite. They're just like it. I thought it was going to be stupid, and starts out like pretty cool, and then you're like, oh! So I was like, yeah. But they all start around 1994, and it goes up to this year. I added, what was it, 6 or 7? Let me see. Can't remember. All right, we got, yeah, there's 6 brand new stories that were written in 2025. The whole thing's being re-edited, so even if you've read You Are Dead before, it's not the same version. It's been tightened up, edited. Like, there's no sex, no cussing. I mean, it does mention, like, a link to a porn site, but, you know, it's like, other than that, you know. And we have And Death Too Began to Die, The Apple Fatcher, Baiting the Pentagram, The Beautiful Seaside of Manachia, Bedclothes, Bedclothes 2, Darkness Reigns, Black Magic, The Art of Voodoo, which is a novella, Descent into Madness, Descent into Madness 2, Further into Madness, Descent into Madness 3, Forever into Madness, that's the Madness trilogy, The Face in the Mirror, The Figure in the Darkness, Insane, Red Christmas 2, Bloody Bells Are Ringing, Shadows, Tracy's New Doll, Wilhelmina, another novella, You Are Dead, Z is for Zombie, and then the all-new stories, My Friend is Missing, Happy the Clown, The Darkness Called to Me, Don't Open the Box, This Story Wrote Itself, and The Cabin. and it's about 213 pages. There you go, laid out pretty nice. So it's called Tales to Cheer Your Blood. It originally came out in 2012, the first official printing on Amazon. So when you go to Amazon, as long as it has this cover, and the ebook version has Tales to Cheer Your Blood across the top and Wes Caldwell at the bottom, but on this one, just decided to print it like this. So it's all like revised, edited, all the sex, cussing, and not really the violence. Like, I mean, it's been written in some aspects, but mostly I just took out the sex and the violence and anything like that, and a little bit of the gore has been rearranged. But overall, like, if you like Tales from the Crypt, Tales from the Dark Side, Twilight Zone, R.L. Stine, Goosebumps, Fear Street, then you're gonna love this. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. You know, that's the things that inspired this, and I wanted it to be like that. Originally, it was more like Stephen King, had cussing and sex, but I'm like, nah. I just felt like it was like, nah, we're just gonna, make it like cool, like Edgar Allan Poe and H.P. Lovecraft, where you can sit down and read it, and you can either read the whole book in one sitting, or you can just read like a short story at a time, other than the two that take about, I don't know, most people could read one in an hour, like the Black Magic, The Art of Voodoo, and Wilhelmina. They're the longer stories in the book. So most of them are about 10, 15 minutes, like, that you can read it. So there you go. Tales to Cheer Your Blood, $12, I believe it is, in paperback form. Tales to Cheer Your Blood by Wes Caldwell, Amazon.com. It'll say it came out in 2012, but as long as it has this cover, then it was 2025, because that's the revised edition. For whatever reason, it wouldn't let me change it. So it still says 2012, even though it's the all new, updated, re-edited, all new cover, all new back. Like, it's pretty cool. You're gonna love it. And I hope you enjoyed that story. That one was a Halloween treat, and I'm not all that great at like reading out loud, and I got a little stuck there. I might have stumbled across a word and added one or two, so sorry. But that makes it fun too, because it's like, woo, and hope you like it. And also got one more. This bad boy is coming January 2nd, 2026. This is the proof copy. So right now, that's it. I'm editing it, or revising it, like reading through it again to make sure everything's good. Found a couple of mistakes, fixed them. They weren't major, but it's really awesome. And once again, this thing has been completely, from start to finish, rewritten. No sex, no cussing. This one will be more of a mature audience, because it's very heavy. It deals with a lot. So it's got ghosts, supernatural stuff. Let's see, if you've read Why I Believe, it's kind of like that, but it's a horror version. It's like my life, my testimony, plus a lot of ghosts and like the origins of this book. Characters that are in here in my stories, they're in here. So you're going to find out. It's like pretty awesome. And I'm proud of this version. And it's the Redeemed Edition. So it'll be on Amazon January 2nd, 2026. I think it's $15, maybe $16, because it is really thick. I mean, this thing's like, 436 or 37 pages. So it's actually a novel. And the letters is like, pretty good. And this one, I'm very proud of the layout. Like, worked very hard on this book. It was a pain, but it's worth it. And the back, there you go. Can't show you too much of that, because I had to There were a couple of spelling errors that for whatever reason slipped through on the back. I don't know. There weren't any on the inside, but the back cover is always the pain in the butt. But anyway, a little bit about what it's about. We'll go ahead and read you the back. What if everything you feared was real? Wesley Caldwell thought he was just an ordinary boy, until the day he discovered that God, the devil, death, and everything in between were not just stories. They were watching. They were waiting. And the dead might be the only thing keeping him alive. And you can't read the rest of it because it's like covered up. But then it goes, Wesley must navigate a terrifying reality where every breath draws him closer to the grave. Is faith enough to survive? Is love worth dying for? Or is salvation just another illusion? Part horror novel, part memoir, part spiritual testimony, this is the story of one man's battle against evil and the quest for redemption. So, yeah, it'll be out January 2nd, 2026. The Process of Damnation, Redeemed Edition. So, yep, no sex, no cussing. There is violence and gore in here, and it's deals a lot with suicide and theological, like, I don't know what you call it, like thinking about like why you believe what you believe and putting it to the test. Like, it's very faith-based, but at the same time it's like questioning why you have faith. So it's really awesome, and you're going to find out what the title means, because it's not what you think it is. It's not bad. It's not like, ooh. It's like, it's really good and you'll enjoy it. And it is kind of scary. And I recommend 17 and older for this one. This one, pretty much anybody 13 and up, 14 and up can read it. But this one, because it deals with like subject matter that's mature, like suicide and philosophy and theology, it's kind of heavy. So you'll really enjoy it. And make sure you keep an eye out for that January 2nd. It'll be available on Kindle and paperback. And then this one is available now. And you can also get Why I Believe and Proof on Amazon.com. So thank you. Happy Halloween. Hope you enjoyed the story.